Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Total Truth Show. And here on the Total Truth Show, we want to help you break free from the lies and propaganda of the mainstream media. All the disinformation and misinformation, we want to help you blast through all of that. And my name is Ken Kleinberg, coming to you all the way from the USA, San Diego, California.
And I'm Aldwyn Altuney, known as the Media Queen from the Gold Coast in Australia.
There is a great awakening happening in the world right now, and you're going to want to come along for the ride.
A lot of lies are coming to the surface. There's a lot of awakening happening, and as this awakening is happening, people realize they've been deceived for years. They've been lied to for years around all sorts of things. A lot of people have been blind to what has been going on in the world, and now they're starting to see. They're starting to see things in a different light.
Through our show, we want to raise global consciousness to quantum critical mass. And we don't want you just to accept the things that we're saying. That goes for our guests as well. We want you to do the research for yourself. Get out there and start questioning things. Start looking things up. Do the research. We want to pave the way for a new awakened world. And we want you to come along for the ride. So with that, let's get started, you guys. Let's dive into today's episode. Once again, welcome.
Yay, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is launch day for Fear to Freedom Series 1. Yeah. You can get a free copy for the next 24 hours only. We're going to pop the Amazon link in for you. Free copy for the next 24 hours of our amazing book. And today's episode, can you believe it's episode 111? Ken, can you believe we're here already?
Wow, that's all I have to say. It's amazing that we're past 100, and now we're at 111, so it's pretty epic here.
Yes, and what's even more special about 111, and we have some numerologists in the room and some very psychic, spiritual people here, and we know when the numbers are all aligned like this, everything's falling into place. Everything is perfectly aligned, and we do have some of our beautiful co-creators, Leanne Clune, and I have started this amazing, this is not just a book, this is a whole movement we've got going here, where we are transforming fear to freedom on a daily basis, and we have 13 amazing co-authors in the book from all around Australia. Today is the Amazon launch day. Saturday, we have a sold out event in Sydney with over 100 people. It is going to be extraordinary for our Sydney launch. And some of our amazing co-authors are with us as we're going to chat today about the truth about Fear to Freedom Part 2, because we did chat with some of our other authors on one of our previous Total Truth Show episodes. And now we've got Lisa Jack, we've got Rosie Shalhoub, we've got Michelle Sleight and Jacqueline Price, and we may even have some other authors that might hop on during our live. We'll see how we go here today. Welcome to our amazing authors. Congratulations on a fantastic achievement and sharing your story. And we had a great chat this morning with Renee Reggie Rowland, who spoke at the Gold Coast Referral Group as well. We did a live video with her earlier today, and some of our other extraordinary authors. So we're going to learn a little bit about our authors today. We're going to hear from them. And I'm so excited to be launching this with Leanne. In fact, I was in two of Leanne's previous books. Leanne did a book called Radiant, and she did another one called Legacy Business Builders. And I'm actually in about 30 different books where I have a chapter. I've contributed to about 30 different books. And this is the first time that I am co-producing a book with Leanne, and she's been awesome to work with. And we are just so excited about this project and the transformation that's even happened in the last 6 months. So now to hear from our authors, I'd love to go firstly to Michelle, because I know she's got to hop on a plane to Sydney very soon this afternoon. Well, firstly, let's go over to you, Michelle, and share a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your chapter, please.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Aldwyn. Thanks, Ken, for having us on. Thank you, Leanne and Aldwyn, for this wonderful project. I was really, really excited about it because Fear to Freedom is something that we tend to be looking for whatever reason. And unfortunately, we don't always, all of us, find it. So I think it's a great initiative. I am a trauma specialist. Sexual assault is my absolute specialty. I do work in DV and a few other areas as well. what sets me apart is that I'm 100% results guaranteed. And that's really important. And I'm going to be sharing something with you that should have been discussed a long time ago, is buried, and that is something that's going on in the world and getting more and more dangerous for victims. But first, this is my book, my first book. Oh, it's going into the background. Insight, Up Close and Personal Profile of Sexual Assault. It's a foundation book, and it can give you all the information that you need to be able to understand this topic in a way that it's safe and comfortable. Now, back to that all-important thing. We talk here on the Total Truth Show about talking about what's going on in the world. And one of the things that is going on in the world, and I've got my victim cap on here, because I don't know if many of you know, I am a victim of multiple sexual assaults over many years, starting at the age of 5 and finishing at the age of 32. And then at the age, 10 years later, I sent a rapist packing. He couldn't touch me. And I teach people how to do that. But here's the thing. As victims, we've never been more vulnerable in this world than we are right now, and not from rapists, from counsellors, from social workers, from psychiatrists, from psychologists. Not all of them. I want to say that, not all of them. But there are so many people out there, and we are paying their mortgages. We are paying their bills. We are paying their children's college tuition. We are getting nothing back in return. What has happened now that's made it even more dangerous for us is that, especially in the US, Ken, I have spoken to a lot of victims and a lot of families of victims where they have got to the point where they can't keep going with counselling because it's not working, it's not helping. They've hung in there. So what their counsellor does is commits them against their will, and then still gets paid because they're still seeing them while they're committed. Or because somebody decided to rape them. And as a victim, it disgusts me that we are not having this conversation. This is such an important conversation. We should never be in a position where we, the most incredibly brave people who go through something where we die, the person we were before it happened doesn't exist anymore. We have to remake ourselves with virtually no help. And for 99% of people, very unsuccessfully, and they struggle with all sorts of things. And they go from one professional to another and they give up hope. But now we've got this extra threat. And here in Australia, in training for counsellors who are in training at university, they are taught that they must ring and commit somebody if they think that person may potentially be a damage to themselves, harm to themselves. But here's the thing, who's deciding that? The victim or the counsellor? We can't now have an open conversation where we can just air everything that we might say, oh, I just want to die, but we don't mean we want to go and kill ourselves. We're just expressing a feeling. We can't do that anymore because it could end up seeing us get locked up, which is absolutely unacceptable, I think. We need to be having a better conversation about when you step in and lock people up. The other thing is that there are a lot of people out there who do not have any accountability, professionals who have no accountability. You go to see them, there's no guarantee that they're going to help you, that they have any intention. They might want to help you, but they'll take your money and they'll keep seeing you even if you don't improve, even if things don't improve for you. And it has to come back to us to say, okay, firstly, this is what I want out of these counselling sessions. Can you guarantee that you can deliver that? What can you guarantee you can do for me? And if people say that they can't, then maybe you need to look elsewhere, because we pay a lot of money to get help. And then when it doesn't come, it does more harm to us than good. And there are so many people that I find in car parks, in public toilets, just standing in the street because they're just in this zone of shock, just reliving something, that have spent years trying to get help, and none of it has worked. So we must now say, we have an expectation. If I see you 3 or 4 times and I don't feel better, you're not helping me. What more can you do? What other options do you have? Or can you find me someone who can? Or start looking around for it. Because we, the victims, the brave, incredible people that are showing up so that we can take care of ourselves, must have an expectation of those people who say they can help. And the fact of the matter is, this truth that is buried, everyone knows it, professionals know it, victims know it. We're not having this conversation. And I hope that today, that I've started this conversation, and that now we can all go out and we can start having this conversation so that we can go from fear to freedom and be free. In my chapter, I write about how I help people do that, and I do guarantee results. This method works. So do enjoy reading the chapter. And if you want to find a way to be free, please reach out. Okay.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. And you have survived 7 rapes. We actually added them all up the other day. There was 7 of them you've survived. Yes. And it's extraordinary that you've come out the other side of that, and now you help other people who've been through similar situations. And rapes are so common, aren't they? What are the stats around?
Extremely. Well, they vary from country to country, but it's about 1 in 5 women, and I think it's about 1 in 4 men. But that is not an accurate statistic. It's merely a government published statistic.
Right.
What is very worrying, though, is that it's happening a lot with children. It's for children. Right. Huge problem. And I teach parents how to teach their children. My children have actually stopped things and have stepped in and helped their friends when they are actually being assaulted as children. It's important that they know how to do it correctly, and it's not what we think. And teaching your children about this sort of thing is not what you think. We don't obviously talk about sex or rape. We start off a lot more gently. But there's a huge statistic here in Australia. Every 9 minutes, a child is sexually assaulted. How long have we been talking?
Well, we've been talking now for 13 minutes, so we've already had one situation.
We're almost at 2. Yeah. Isn't that's dreadful? And then some of those people will go into domestic violence relationships. Others will become predators. And the ones in between will just live miserably. And that shouldn't happen. So that is why I am saying it is time that we start having an expectation that the people that we're paying to see actually get a result. For me, if you come to see me, you might only need to see me twice, maybe once. Most people don't need to see me more than 6 times, and those are the people who are going to court and holding their predators accountable.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Michelle.
Very good outcomes for that. Yeah, so, it's really important that we teach our children correctly, that we have the right information, and that when we step up for ourselves, that we have an expectation that gets met. Yeah.
Yes. And you're someone who has stood up against the system, and you've done some amazing work in this area. And I love your passion around this. And, they say everything happens for us, not to us in life, right? And being the victim of a situation is never going to help anything. However, at the same time, I do believe that we're presented with certain challenges because there's a reason that we, need to inspire other people with that story or whatever it is. And, you're a great example of someone who has overcome massive challenges, overcome massive fears yourself, and how you've turned that now into freedom for yourself and others. So well done there, Michelle. Amazing. Your chapter is phenomenal. So for those who do want to get a copy of our book, you can get it for 24 hours only. We have the Amazon links here for you. Also, if you go to the Facebook group called Fear to Freedom, the public group. You'll see the direct Amazon link in there as well. Join our public Facebook group, Fear to Freedom, and you can get your free download of the book just for 24 hours. It's going to be closing off at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So hop in there, get your free copy right now, and enjoy, because 274 pages here of phenomenal 13 authors. Some of them are here today with us. We also have a Media Queen TV episode coming up today where we'll be hearing from some of our authors there as well. So hop along there to get your free copy. Now, for my co-creator of this project, the amazing Leanne Clune. Now, I know Leanne is monitoring the Amazon downloads today because we know we're going to be bestseller, and we're keeping track of it. So Leanne's watching closely in the background of all the numbers ticking away of all the people that are downloading the book. So Leanne, how are you feeling today?
Hello, Aldwyn. Hello, Ken. Hello to all my beautiful co-authors. I'm so excited today. I'm totally pumped. This has been a co-creation of Aldwyn and myself, and it's been a long time coming, hasn't it, Aldwyn? It really has.
Yes.
And, I was reflecting back on my first book, which was called Radiant. Now, interesting, because Radiant was my first book that I published in 2021. When I got the intuition to start publishing niche books, I went into massive fear, right? Massive fear. Now, I've been a wealth strategist for the last 20 years. I've helped hundreds of clients save millions of dollars over that time. So what was coming up for me when my intuition said it's time to start publishing, as well as still doing your wealth strategy business, what was coming up for me is, who am I? Who am I to be a publisher? I'm a wealth strategist. Publishing was way outside of my sphere, outside of my comfort zone, but my intuition was strong, and I always listen to my intuition because I know what happens when we don't. And I did push through. However, I do remember that fear, and the fear, it had me when I was transitioning into becoming a publisher. I ended up, normally with fear, I feel it in my gut. My legs turn to jelly. My breathing gets shallow. That's what normally happens. And then sometimes, if it's a large resistance and a big fear, I just get sick. So when we get sick, it stops our momentum. And with the transition into publishing industry, I ended up with pneumonia. So it wasn't just a little bit sick, it was extremely ill. That was when COVID was rampant as well. So, I wasn't allowed in any of the medical practitioners or anything like that because I was just coughing up my lungs, literally. I was in bed for at least 3 or 4 weeks, and not only did I get pneumonia, but 2 of my children also got pneumonia. So I got completely slammed. And I remember what I did and how I transcended that was I kept focusing on my vision of Radiant. I'd already put it out there. I already had some authors. And I had pneumonia. So I leaned into, if I just move the needle forward 1 bit per day while I'm so sick, that's okay. So I really reduced what I needed to do every day, and I rested to recover from the pneumonia and tried to look after my children and help them recover. Now, if I had not have done that, if I had given up, I would never be here today, right now, with Aldwyn, with our brand new book, Fear to Freedom. It's the 5th book that I've published. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I've helped many people become best-selling authors in the process. And I've learned so much about myself, and the personal growth has been exponential over the last 4 to 5 years. What I really realized through all of this is that we all experience fear. Fear is part of our human existence. No matter how much personal development work, how spiritual you are, fear still comes. And Aldwyn and I can talk about this until we're blue in the face, because the fear was getting us when we decided to step up and do this joint project. But what is crucial is how we recognize when we're in fear and we transcend it, and that gives us freedom. And the quicker we can transcend it, because we're always in a dance between fear and freedom in our human existence. And that's what I've really learned. This is what I talk about in my chapter called Remembering Me. The faster we can transcend our fear, the faster we move into our highest creative frequency in our life. And that is living a life on purpose, living a life well lived. So that is for freedom for me. The definition of freedom for me has changed over the years. And for me now, the definition of freedom is being unshakably connected to yourself and being in your highest creative frequency, and nothing bothers you. It doesn't matter what people say. It's not about having so much money. I used to think that, being in the financial services industry, I used to think it was about financial freedom, and it really is not. It's not. When you are unshakably connected to yourself and you know that you can create on demand, as we can as creators, then you don't need millions of dollars, because you can create. That's more powerful. That to me is true freedom.
Yeah, love it, Leanne. And it's been so cool working with you. And we have faced incredible challenges. I mean, look, I don't have children. Leanne's got a few children and a chicken. Now, I've adopted 5 chickens, so I'm learning all about chickens as well. But that's a whole other thing. And I did have a lot of fear, let me tell you, about bringing some chickens home. But anyway, that's a whole other side story. Check the live video I did about the chickens. However, what happened with Leanne and I now, I had this idea that I want to put a book out. Who do I want to work with? I mean, 30 other books. Who have I loved to work with? And really, Leanne is someone who I just loved working with when I was in her books. And we got together and we were talking about the amount of fear that's in the world. We've seen the last 5 years how much fear there's been around the whole pandemic, or plandemic as we call it here. There's been so much fear out there. And now that's sort of like people talking about World War III and, what's happening in Gaza. And there's a lot of crap going on in the world. Now, the fact is, from the beginning of time, there's been a whole lot of crap that's happened in the world. There's been a whole lot of darkness and dark energy and fear energy. And there's also been a lot of light energy. So it's all about, what are we choosing to focus on? Now, when you shine the light on the darkness, on the fear, what's going to happen is you are going to be challenged. And Leanne and I, in the last 6 months of putting this project together, we have been so incredibly challenged on so many fronts. We cannot even begin to share with you. In fact, read and you'll read about some of them. But really, it's been a massive transformational project for both of us in the creation of this. And I'm sure for our authors as well, I'm sure they've also had incredible challenges as well that have shown up for them. And through that, we got together and we said, well, what are the most inspiring stories that we know about out there? And usually the most inspiring stories are where people have overcome some kind of darkness, some kind of challenge, some kind of breakdown, and then they've found the breakthrough at the end of that. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, even though sometimes the tunnel can seem like it's never ending, right? Eventually you hang in there in that tunnel and you'll eventually find the light. And that's what, birthing this book has been like for us, because it is kind of like a birth. And in fact, it's probably been about 9 months we've been working on it. In that time, my mum had a fall and ended up, it's been massive challenges for me on the personal home front with my parents, my aging parents being very fragile. Mum having a fall with dementia, unable to walk, now in a nursing home. Dad having serious heart problems. It's been full on so many fronts. With Leanne, we've had deaths that have happened. We've had sickness. We've had, so many challenges just in our stories alone, just in the last 6 months. However, here we are. We've come out the other side, and now we're celebrating all our amazing authors. So congratulations, Leanne. It's been so cool working with you. And we are so, so proud of this book and all of our authors who stepped up to be in the book. And I want to hear from more of our authors now. So how about we go over to Jacqueline now? Jacqueline, now you've got an incredible story. Can you share a little bit about your story in the book, please?
Thanks, Aldwyn. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here and amongst our other co-authors. Yeah, we all face many challenges in life, but it's how you get through that challenge, whether it's a small one or a big one. One of my main challenges is going back probably 26, 27 years ago. I had a fall at work, just fell over. And next thing, I ended up in a wheelchair. Excuse me. And you don't realise, how restrictive it is when you're stuck in a wheelchair. And I know many people don't get out, but I wasn't going to stay in this wheelchair. It took me 13 years, but I got out. And it's the power of the subconscious mind. You don't realise how powerful your mind can be if you put thoughts into how you can do one step at a time, going from not being able to walk slowly, because my left leg went numb completely in that time, and I thought I'd had a stroke. But apparently it was the reflex sympathetic dystrophy that caused it. I damaged the sympathetic nervous system when I had the fall. So, and a lot of things happened in the war years with people like this. They didn't realise it was the nervous system causing a lot of disabilities with people injured. And nerve pain is one of the worst pains. You might drag a peg on your foot and it feels like a brick. It's crazy nerve pain. It's one of the worst pains you can have. And a lot of people do go through nerve pain, but they don't know how to control it. And I've learned a lot of meditation, just relaxing and just putting yourself somewhere else when you're in that pain. And I did a lot of pain clinics. And one of the things we learned is you could visualise basically going the pain from your head, going down through all the organs of your body, all through your limbs, and going out through your toes. And we got taught this, and you can visualise the pain going right through your body and out the other side. And it's amazing, once you get it done quite a few times, how quickly that pain can disappear, because you've got that power to move that pain out of your body. And if we could teach this for younger children, even when you're a child, when you first learn to walk, you fall over, you get up, you don't give up. We all have to go through challenges, and you just don't give up, you keep going. And there's always someone you can talk to and ask for help. And I've learned a lot of this from my mentors too, just how to get through the challenges, because most people go through big challenges, small challenges, and how you get through that using the power of the subconscious mind. I've learned so much from my pain clinics and everything else, and from other mentors that have gone through similar things. It's amazing what you can do with your power of your mind. And I love to share that in my story. I've had other challenges as well, which you'll see in my story. And I think starting and ending your day with gratitude. Not everybody has a chance to wake up, has a roof over their head, or food on the table. And I start my day with gratitude, and I end my day with gratitude. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do. What you think, you become. And what thoughts you have, if it's negative, you'll keep thinking negative. If it's positive, if you got a negative thought, it must last 3 or 4 seconds, that's it. Put straight into it with a positive thought, and you're amazing how quick you feel so much better. So there's so much more to share, but I think one of the things I learned too, everything you face is on the other side of fear. So get through that fear and you'll have that freedom no matter what you're facing in life. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Jacqueline. And we're actually in some other books together. Jacqueline's, I think, in about 10 different compilation books or so. That's been really cool. You're an amazing lady. You are known as the Wise Water Woman. You also have an aging father who you've learned a lot from. What are some of the things you've learned from your father, and how old is he now?
94.
Wow.
He's in a care home now, and he's been there 2 years because we lost Mum coming up for 6 years. And he's just so resilient. Nothing worries him. You go in there, he gives a big smile, and I said, mate, where's your smile? And a big smile, and he has lunch, and I take photos and share it on Facebook with my sisters in Queensland, and he just is so happy all the time. Nothing worries him. And he's one of my mentors. He laughs, he smiles, he says hello, and I put in my chapter, I've dedicated my chapter to Dad, because do your dad, but your best friend and your mentor. And you learn a lot from your father, even though at that age, he says, how are you going? How's the family going? He's always asking questions because we've got other sick family members, and he's always asking, how are they? And what are you doing? And I said, I'm going to Sydney. I'll bring the phone. Oh, good, he said, have a good time. And then he says, you got to bring a fella home? I said, no. You never know what he comes out with. He's so funny.
Oh, classic.
And he
Well, you
loves
never
to
know.
see me
You're
get
not going
dressed
to
up. I'll do business awards. It's just so much fun.
That's awesome. Yes, we will be at the BX Awards in Sydney too.
Yes, we will.
Now, you're a finalist as well, are you, Jacqueline, in one of the
Yes,
categories?
yes, I'll be there too.
Which category are you finalist in?
In health.
In health. Ah, very good. And I'm a finalist in the media category. So we've got the awards night also on the 1st of August at the Shangri-La in Sydney as well. So that's going to be really cool. Awesome, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for sharing. Very, very inspiring. And thank you to everyone who's joining us right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're joining us. I can see Charles Caldwell here. Greetings from Hong Kong. Hello, Charles. How you going there, mate? How you going, buddy? All right, it's a bit of an Aussie thing, you know. Hey, Charles, good to see you there. And Michelle's very happy to see you on LinkedIn. There she is. She's hopped in with her alter ego there on LinkedIn. Love to see you. And Michelle actually had a comment here too about what you were sharing there. And I've shared it into the public chat here. I have a chronic nerve pain, permanent injury, so I know how you feel, Jacqueline. Congratulations for your achievement. Yay. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. Thank you so much. All right, I want to hear from some of our other authors. Let's go to Rosie, and then let's go after that to Lisa Jack. Okay, amazing. Rosie from Sydney. Rosie.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is something that is actually fearful for me, being, doing public speaking, because I'm still very new at it. But I would like to call myself a best-selling speaker and an author. A best-selling author, not a best-selling speaker. But I'm also an entrepreneur, a spiritual mentor, and I like to help soul-led people just to help them activate their intuition, align with their abundance, and help them build powerful spiritual empires. Because I have been in this industry, in the spiritual industry, for the past 30 years. It's all I know, and it's all I've worked in, and made some great money along the way. So it's funny how people think of spirituality and then they think of money, and the two and two don't seem to go hand in hand with a lot of people. But I'm here to say it does. But that's not what my chapter in the book's about this time around. This time I've written a best-selling book. It's called, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's called The Dark Side of the Light. So I'm talking here about the actual industry that I've worked in, the spiritual industry. And I am not saying this is about everybody. This is just a very big handful. I've known some amazing people I've worked with, and I still work with amazing people, very talented people. And one thing that I really wanted to make clear in this book is that this was not about trying to get at somebody or trying to hurt people or gossip. It was never about anything like that. It was about really shedding light on the industry. Now, I know Michelle was just saying something about her, the counsellors. It's the same sort of thing with the psychics. They really need to get their shit together before they can help other people with their shit. So I've worked with thousands upon thousands of psychics, and what I've seen along the way, I've kept my mouth shut for a very long time, and it just got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. So I started writing the book. I was so scared to put the book out, and I had so many people say to me that, I'm going to ruin my career if I did, and that, it was going to be the worst thing that I could have done. Well, I did it, and it was the best thing that I'd done. I not only just won myself an award for it and a best-selling status, but I just felt so free after I spoke the truth. There's so many psychics out there that will practice, say, for example, like a feng shui expert who's telling people how to, charging people $600 to get their house together so they could get love into their house. But that person hasn't got love in their life. There's, the abundance manifestation guru who's charging hundreds of dollars to help you get abundance into your life, but then they're hitting me up for $2 because they can't afford a cup of tea, or they want to cash it because they have a bill that they haven't paid. We've got healers and Reiki masters, and I'm not saying all, who are coming out and sorry, Lisa, I'm not saying all, but I mean,
it's all right. I see it too.
I know a lot of you will agree with me here, and you've probably seen it for yourselves. Like these people charging so much money for healing, and they are the ones who probably need the healing the most. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not. I've worked in the industry. I've done probably over 20 years of professional psychic readings myself. I don't do psychic readings anymore professionally, but I've gone in a different direction now. But my stories are quite enlightening. They're quite funny, some of them, and some of them are really, really sad when you see spiritual mentors are acting as, say, like helping women with their, say, sexual frustrations. And, so I feel like the industry is open for a lot of spiritual predators. I've seen that happen quite a lot. I feel, people coming in to get a reading is at a show or a marketplace is very different to someone who's coming to see someone privately. You can charge $20 at a marketplace for a psychic reading and have a bit of fun with it, or you could charge $300 to $600, $700 for a psychic reading. And those people who are coming, that's their hard-earned money, and these psychics are not psychic. That's really all I've got to say. It's hard to say it without coming out nasty and frustrated. I don't want to be like that. That's not my aim. But, a lot of them don't live in the spiritual light, as we call it. Some of the darkest psychics that I know of is Hitler, Aleister Crowley. These people don't necessarily practice spirituality, but yet they can be very psychic. And that was something I really wanted to convey in my book, that you don't have to be a spiritual person living in the light to be psychic. So when I got asked to be in From Fear to Freedom, I thought, there's so many other stories I could write about, but I really wanted to talk about the guts that it took to stand out against the crowd, to speak up, and, being the black sheep in the industry now. And what I've noticed is that the people who really took offense to my book were the ones who were probably the ones that I was talking about the most, because I didn't really pinpoint anyone as such. And then I had so many international psychics, so many big names come to me and thank me, people that I would never have thought would ever cross my field, and writing to me saying, look, hey, we saw your book and I want to say thank you for saying something that we were just too scared to speak about. So that made me feel really good. And it was only just a couple of days ago, I was in the shopping centre just doing some groceries, and I bumped into two psychics that I used to read with, and never, I hadn't seen them for a long time. And the way I got treated, I actually felt really sick when I walked away, and I thought, they read my book. I knew it straight away. And it was funny how I got on the phone to my husband straight away. I said, oh, they weren't very nice to me. And then I thought, what is my problem, Rosie? Like, I've got to be able to, I've put the book out there. I've now put it through with our book. What is my problem? Like, I still have to learn to stop being fearful. And I think part of the chapter in my book is that we don't just get to the other side of fear, to our freedom, and stay there. We do keep going back into the fear. It's about how we change that around and recognize that we're in that fear.
Yes. Oh, Rosie, look, you're amazing. And, you're one of the most beautiful people I know inside and out. Absolute gem of a human being. And No, it's interesting how hard we can be on ourselves, isn't it? And Ken and I have covered this many times in previous shows about our conversations with ourselves about what's wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with you. This dance of fear to freedom is an ongoing dance, no matter how much personal development work you've done. You know, I've invested over $1 million in my business and personal development over the last 20 years. And just a few weeks ago, I had a complete nervous breakdown and I was in bed for 3 days, you know, so it happens, right? And but the main thing is, you know, when you go into those dark places, to have the courage or the tools or, you know, whatever, to be able to come out of that, to come out the other side and then to resurface. And your story that you've shared in your stories in your chapter are absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, I was, you know, well, Leanne and I were proofing your chapter and we were just like, oh my gosh, we could not believe some of the things that we were seeing. And of course, you know, there's no identities that are revealed of anyone. It's all been done very respectfully. However, the stories shared are absolutely mind-blowing. And of course, there are some people in the healing space, unfortunately, who need a lot of healing themselves. And they say, what we teach what we most need to learn, right? We teach what we most need to learn. However, I think in any industry, you've got your charlatans and you've got those that are pretending to be something that they're not. And then you've got those that really are genuinely, amazingly capable of helping people that are actually fully aligned and that, you know, in purpose, etc. So it's a very, very, very interesting chapter you've done, Rosie, there.
Thank you. And I find, Aldwyn, that it's true what you were saying, that you know, there's a lot of charlatans out there, and unfortunately in our industry there's more than what there is good, and that's just the way it is. I've worked with thousands. I mean, I've lived my whole life in this work, and it is an industry. At the end of the day, it's, you know, very tax evasive. There's no rules and regulations. People, you know, say, oh, I've got a certificate in psychic development. It will be due. Like, who gave you that certificate? There's not really a proper organisation to. You know, I can go and open an organisation today if I wanted to and give all you guys a certificate. But there's just no rules and regulations towards that, and this is what people don't understand. And there's so many tricks to the trade, so many. People will walk out of a reading, oh my gosh, she's amazing, she said this, she said that, but they don't realize how much they actually give away. And the other little tricks, they're all in my book though.
Yes, you have to read the book. So get your free download. You've got 24 hours. Go to the Fear to Freedom public Facebook group and you'll see all the details there. Yeah, extraordinary, Rosie. Thank you so much for sharing. And Michelle says here, I agree, not all are on the dark side, as Michelle was saying. Very true. I give an example of a sexual predator posing as a spiritual guru in my book. So Michelle has said that. She's also said, sounds like her industry also. That
maybe it's the same one, Michelle. Maybe we have the same one we're talking about.
And then Charles Caldwell says here on LinkedIn, Rosie, not a product of a product in their lives while trying to help people achieve what they don't have themselves. Yes, they're not a product of the product. They're not walking the talk, right? They're talking the talk, but they're not walking the talk.
That's exactly right. Like, I'm extremely intuitive. I do have a psychic sense, but if I'm having a bad day, I'll come out and say to you, you know what, I can't read today. I'm having a really crap day. It's just not happening. But these readers will come in and still do the readings because they want the money. You know, it's that sort of thing. Or like, I'm being honest here, you know, this is fearful for me coming on here and talking amongst everyone live. I'm not used to this. So, and you can tell the way I speak compared to all you professional ladies out there, but I'm being honest about that. I'm not coming out and saying, oh, I'm professional in this, and I'm very honest about the day that I'm in.
Actually, I got to chime in here. Actually, my friend, you are doing a phenomenal job. See, here's what you're doing, and you're doing powerfully. You are showing up yourself. You are showing up as you, and you are coming across as you. And that is just as powerful as a person that's practiced. See, I didn't even know that this is, you know, an uncomfortable zone for you until you said it. That thought would have never come to my mind, which should tell you just how good you're doing or how okay you're doing. I don't know how to preface that, but you get what I'm trying to say. So just be you, which is what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're being
And
you.
I
You're showing up. Just be you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're amazing, Rosie. And this is why we love you, right? You share from the heart and you just say it as it is. And has anyone done Toastmasters here? Anyone done Toastmasters? Toastmasters, it's a sort of, they help you become a good public speaker. Now, what they do in Toastmasters, they actually add up your ums and ahs, how many ums you say and how many ahs you say when you do your talks. Now, I did 3 years of Toastmasters and I say ums and ahs all the time. Right? So the thing is, no matter how much work you've done on your public speaking or, it just be natural, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if you say ums and ahs. In fact, even AI now are adding ums and ahs to the AI bots to make it sound more human. So this is a true story, right? You're hearing AI bots with ums and ahs because they want to sound like they're human beings, even though they'll never be human beings, as we know. However, and they'll never have the heart-to-heart connection. That's a whole other story. So well done there, Rosie. That is phenomenal. And look, you've got lots of support here from our fellow authors. Michelle says, no, you're doing fabulously. And Leanne says, well done, Rosie. You're doing amazing. So lots and lots of love for you.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, and Jacqueline, I can see Lisa, you guys
And it's nice to get that feedback.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing about everyone in the book. We're all so supportive. It's a beautiful container that we've created. We've all got this little baby together. And, it's a lovely project where we're actually lifting each other up. We lift each other up despite all our fears and our concerns over technology and whatever else might come up for us at different times. Right? I had a doozy this morning. I was doing a live stream with Renee Rowland, one of our authors, and the internet kept cutting out. I'm like, oh, Renee, just hang on a second. I only cut out about 10 times. Like, just take a deep breath. It's okay. We'll get through this. So if you go watch the video from this morning, it's quite hilarious because the internet just but there's things you just can't control sometimes, and everything is hard until it becomes easy. Now, Michelle, I know you've got to get on a plane soon. So, Michelle, I'd love to hear just quickly from Michelle, how can people connect with you, Michelle? And then we'll go to Lisa, and we'll chat with Lisa in just a second. But Michelle, if you could just share with us, what's the best way for people to connect with you? And do you have a favourite quote or motto that you'd like to share with us, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm going to try and hang around for a little bit of Lisa's because I love Lisa.
Okay, great.
She's amazing, and listening to her talk is great. So everyone should hang around.
Oh, thank you.
I would like to say that I always sort of think it's not what has happened, because that's outside of your control. It's what you choose to do next that is what matters, because that's where you have control. Yeah. And so that's what I'd like to share. And yes, look, people can reach out to me at info@michelleinsight.com.au, and I'll pop that in the chat and you can put that up. And yeah, let's have a chat. Yes, I'm so keen to hear Lisa, so I'm going to jump off. You go for it, girl.
Yay. And you have another link here too that you've shared, which is Psych Safe Training. So I'll just pop that one up on the screen. Connect with Michelle. And we're going to have some people on the audio on Spotify as well that won't be able to see this. So you can connect with Michelle at Psych Safe Training, which is spelled PSYCH, Safe, SAFE, and then training, TRAINING.com. Okay, so you can connect with Michelle there as well, and any other links you'd like to share there, just pop that here. There it is up on the screen. Okay, Lisa, over to you. Amazing. Lisa on the fellow healer who is not one of the dark ones. She's definitely one of the ones. You, Lisa.
Oh my goodness, and it's so funny because it's being lucky last, and it's like bringing that fear up there as well there too. So I'm not used to public speaking either, Rosie. So I think you did absolutely amazing there too. So I just want to start something. Obviously, the wounds become your wisdom. So all your wounds become your wisdoms, and that's basically how I started out in the healing industry. I'm very, very blessed that my dear brother is an amazing healer. And he actually started his healing journey when my mum passed away. He was like a double degree in sports on psychology. So he just couldn't figure out why my mum, which I taught, this is my book's all about my beautiful mum and losing her in my 20s, but how did she die when she was the good one? She did everything right. She was very kind and everything like that. And where Dad was the one that, drank a lot. He was a little bit, back in those days, they reacted a little bit more there as well. It was very stressful there too. And so that took him on his big journey of discovery with Barbara Bremen, if a lot of you have heard of her. And then he went to study with her for 4 years, and then all the shamans in Peru. And then it was basically a collaboration of all his sports industry, the Barbara Brennan and all the Africans, and also all the shamans. And he's basically amalgamated all those healings and started this amazing school called the Neo-Shamanics School there too. But, back before that happened, I wasn't in the place. I remember thinking my brother, oh my God, he's Jesus, because that's the only way I could understand, because I was definitely not awake there too. And I was in a very stressful relationship and quite abusive. And then he used to come to our house and, I'm just going to manifest that money. And obviously I was in a relationship with my ex-husband where I realize now all the thoughts I was having, I was creating, but I was obviously creating everything wasn't going to work out, nothing's going to work out, and all that. So it took me a very, very long years of realizing how powerful our words are. Words are spells, and they're magic. And the more we think and create, that's what we get. So my book is basically about love and loss and everything in between. It's a lot of people when they do lose a loved one, it's such a deep hole in their heart, and we don't really understand it at the time. And I know now more, but even by writing this story, it's actually made me realize how dark I went. The good thing is I'm very good at enduring, which is quite a good skill sometimes as well. So, I left my husband after 16 years or 12 years of marriage. There was a few hiccups along the way. But obviously, but the still thing, I was still blissfully unaware and not woken up. But the big thing that really woke me up was my son, my beautiful boy who's 16 now, my youngest. I've got 3 amazing children. But he was diagnosed type 1 diabetic and was in, like most people that get diagnosed very young, they get into intensive care because we don't know the warning signs, which if anyone wants to hear them, it's very thirsty, urinates a lot, fruity breath, and there's another one that I can't think of at the moment, but there's about 4 warning signs there. So if you have any of those, don't even bother going to the doctor, just go straight to hospital, because half the doctors don't even realise the warning signs there too. So that was when he got diagnosed, when I was at the hospital, and they were saying, this is 24/7, you're going to have to do multiple injections. If he goes low, he can die. If he goes high too long, that's long-term bad time. And then you've got to measure food and all this sort of stuff. It was like that. And all I could hear was my head spinning and think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I just, at that time, I wasn't capable at all to look after a son with a 24/7 serious life health industry. And that's when I reached out to my brother. After about 6 months, COVID hit. He started doing his first online course, and I had huge fear to ask him because I thought I was not good enough, I was not worthy, I don't deserve to ask him. But I just thought the life I was living, I want to empower my children, and I want my son, who was 10 at the time, I want him to be empowered and not to have any fear in his life, because there's a lot of fear with type 1 diabetes. So I reached out and asked him, and that was my first experience about 6 years ago in the healing industry. And to start off with, oh my goodness, the only thing that got me through was I teamed with this one lady, and she said, just trust in the divine, and just believe in yourself, believe that it's all you, the divine, that's doing all the work. And I thought, well, I don't really feel very capable of myself anyway, so that's easy. If someone else is doing the work for me, I'm quite capable of that there as well. But I just had such a passion just to learn. And slowly over time, I started feeling and getting all these skills, and I could see it working there too, which is beautiful. So, so that was my start in there as well. I was still working full time at that stage. And then, decide with COVID, I decided I want to drop a day so I could sort of focus more on the children and also on my healing skills. And, I just started off just doing free healings for everyone. And just it was lovely getting the beautiful, beautiful results of people. And it was making their lives all better there too, which is amazing. And I got more and more confidence. my brother's got this amazing community of healers, so I feel very blessed because they're all over the world, spanned all over the world, but they all come together sometimes, and I've come together once with them, and it was just amazing community and love and light, and they all support each other, which is amazing there too. And yeah, we've just built my confidence, and then over time, obviously, I've just dropped another day and focusing on a little bit more, and I get great joy of helping people because my wounds have become my wisdom, and obviously I've learned some codes that have helped with the energy, because obviously with what happens with our bodies, we're an energy field before we are a body, so everything obviously starts out in the energy field. If we don't listen to the signals and the warning signs, which a lot of us don't, it slowly drops into the energy field, and then slowly obviously come disease and other things happening. So I help people obviously realign their energy, ground themselves a lot more, because obviously we've got to ground ourselves more and actually feel safe in this world, and then that brings more light up there as well. So the amazing thing is my children are not spiritual at all. Especially my daughter doesn't really resonate with this, but I can see how much it's made a difference in her life. She's studying law, which is amazing, and she managed to manifest the perfect job that can help her, which is only up the road at a law firm in Southport. So it means that she's so close, where most of those jobs are up in Brisbane. So she's like not a PA, but one of those under a legal aid. So just to seeing how it's happened there, and even with my other two children, it's amazing. But they're our biggest teachers as well there too. So, but the biggest thing is obviously this healing journey, feeling that love and loss, and a lot of people looking for love. So that was a beautiful thing in my story, is that I did find this most amazing love after having something so traumatic. And it's a beautiful loving love where we're so in connection with each other, and we empower each other. And my dream is obviously for other people to find this kind of love there as well. But the thing is, we've got to fall in love with ourselves first, and like ourselves, and get rid of some of these patterns and realize a lot of these things before we can obviously get to that stage. So yeah, so that's a little bit of my story. But yeah, I get great joy about helping people there as well there too.
Amazing, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. And I know Leanne has attended some of your work. You've done workshops, and she's had healings with you, and she's always raving about how amazing your work is.
Yeah.
Actually, would you like to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa's work, I've worked with a lot of people in the space, and Lisa's work is incredible. Lisa was in one of my former books called Soul Codes. I think it was Soul Codes Volume 2.
I got the one here. There we go.
Yes. Yeah. So Lisa featured in there. And when our Fear to Freedom came out, Lisa actually did a post on her Facebook all about Fear to Freedom. And I reached out to her. I said, "You must be in this book." My intuition was going crazy. We have to have you in. And since then, as Aldwyn and I shared, we have had our fears come up pretty much daily since we decided to lead this project. And Lisa's been one in my inner circle that I've been reaching out to, help, I've had enough. I'm at capacity, help. And shifts are incredible. So I've had very much, Lisa has been right up there with me, helping me through. It's that transcension from the fear to freedom. So it's that recognizing that you're in the fear and having ways that work for you to transcend the fear. So I've had Lisa on standby a lot. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I get so much joy about helping people. And I just want to put on there, I'm really excited because actually today the Type 1 Foundation, which is my most favorite foundation, they're all about helping the people with anyone with type 1 diabetes. So Angie started in the back of her house just doing care packages for families and also helping the carers, because as Aldwyn knows, a lot of you will know that quite often carers are the forgotten ones. But I'm in collaboration with her now, and I've got my first event Tuesday night, online event with her. And she just actually posted it today on Facebook and Instagram, which is quite funny. So I thought it's amazing how the synchronicities and the law of the universe works there too. But I'm really excited to work with them because that's such a big passion for me, is to help families that are burnt out and overwhelmed and stressed out. That's the best way of describing, especially the first 6 months. only way you can describe it, it's like having a newborn that doesn't grow up. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, phenomenal. And lots of love coming to you from our fellow authors too. Michelle saying, I understand your journey. Congratulations on your incredible courage, Lisa. And Rosie's saying, a beautiful story, Lisa. Thank you, Rosie, for that.
Thank you, Rosie.
Rosie's saying here also, everyone has such amazing experiences and very powerful stories to tell. That's beautiful, Rosie. Thank you so much. And some other comments there. Michelle, it's clear you're one of the good ones. And Jacqueline said, dehydration is a major cause of disease. Yes. Well, Jacqueline's very big on the Kangen water, which is all the healthy water. And great share, Lisa, from Michelle as well. Michelle's just run off. She says, goodbye, everyone. Fantastic. So great to have Michelle with us. And thank you for sharing, Lisa. Phenomenal. All of our authors, in fact, have incredible stories. Now, Ken, you're sitting quietly in the background there. What are you getting from this? The topic is, of course, fear to freedom. Okay, what are you hearing in the sharing here from our fellow authors? What are you hearing about fear to freedom?
First of all, a lot of brave people here in this room, and especially the ones that wrote what they wrote, standing up in their own voice, standing up in their own boldness, and then went ahead and published whatever they wrote. So this is even the collaboration book, but I'm also speaking of their own personal books. Like, for example, Rosie, my friend, nice job. You know, especially, you know, with the fear you had to overcome about putting that book out. So here's what's basically happened. So just as through the scamdemic, the plandemic, we had lots of people stand up in their own voice and their own boldness and speak the truth on what's really going on, and they kept getting shut down. They kept getting stuff thrown back in their face. People got jailed. People got, for speaking up, for speaking the truth. People got censored. People got their careers taken away from them because they were stepping up, and they were going on the front lines of the battle. And Rosie, that's exactly what you've done. You've stepped up and went to the front line of the battle and are battling with the rest. And so I just want to really encourage you with that. So all of you guys that have a voice, you're welcome. All of you guys that have a voice, that have chosen to step up and step in the front lines of the battle, knowing that it could be it's very possible that something could happen. You can get, your career taken away from you. You can get you've still chosen to step up in spite of possible risk. So I just want to say that, proud of every single one of you here that's on the screen, that's in this room with us. Great job, people. I am proud to be in a room full of leaders like you guys, and a room full of people that are bold enough to stand up. So now that being said, so fear to freedom. One of the first things that comes to my mind with that is in the very beginnings of my journey to launching my branded company, Mastery Weight Loss. My founding coach, his name is Mike Montez. We've interviewed him twice on the Total Truth Show. It's been a while. Might want to bring him back a little bit here. But Mike Montez was my founding coach and mentor. Helped me launch Mastery Weight Loss. I'll never forget the day. I will never forget the day when he told me, okay, now what you need to do is you need to start going live. You need to start making videos. You need to make an online course. You need to do this and do that. All of it was camera based. And I was like, it's almost absurd for me to look back and look at the way I was back then because of what's happened to me now. But you guys, I was not a natural. There are people that I have interviewed on my own show, which is Expert Interviews with Ken, that it's their first time. And let me tell you, they're naturals. They are naturals. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, do you realize how much of a natural you are? I had to work at it. I had to work at it. When I started producing videos, so I don't think I went live right away. That was a bit much for me. Because I was very self-conscious about myself. But when I did produce videos, you realize on the back end, I spent at least 2 or 3 hours on one video, the edits. That tells you how particular I was and just how self-conscious I was. Every every tick, every all of it. And then I eventually got the hang of it through, repetition. Now, look at where I am now. Like, I love being in front of the camera. I love speaking in front of people. I actually had my first in public stage speaking engagement a couple weeks ago in Texas at my coach's conference. First time speaking in front of a bunch of people like that. First time. And you know what? I expected to be nervous. I really did. I expected to be all out nervous and be fumbling through my, through all that stuff. I wasn't nervous at all. The difference actually was, and I recognized what the difference was because I was actually questioning when I was up there. I'm like, why am I not nervous? Why don't I feel this right now? Like, I am more just at home and just calm than anything else. And it was puzzling to me. Then I realized I was actually in a room full of my peeps, my family, the people that I have already seen. A lot of them I had already seen on Zoom. I knew them all. And so it kind of was a very surreal experience for me, but it was a lot of fun. And my coach said I nailed it. So, I mean, that was great. And I did fumble in my notes. I totally did. I lost place. But I didn't, I mean, I made a comment about it that I lost place. And then I just kind of like went back and kind of continued on. So I recovered from that very easily. And that was a surprise to me. But again, my point is I had to work to become the confident speaker that I am today. I had to work at that. Some of you here in this room with us on this live, some of you here, and even to our listeners, are natural and you don't even know it. Just get out there, speak your voice. Don't worry about the ums. They're going to happen in the beginning. Don't be like me, spending hours and hours on unnecessary edits in the background. My gosh, I can't believe it. A 30-minute video, 30 to 40-minute video literally took me 4 hours. Or not 4 hours. Literally took me like 2 or 3 hours to edit. Just because I was that particular. It shouldn't be like that. So, Rosie, you are one of them. You are one of the natural ones. You've got a natural gift. I can totally tell. So, don't let your own lack of confidence in yourself get in the way. Get out there, speak your voice, because you've got it. You're welcome. So that's my story, fear to freedom. Now I'm free. I share whatever I want to share. Those of you who know me well enough, you know I'm very bold with my voice. I stand very strong in what I do. One of my biggest passions and what my brand stands for is exposing the lies and deception of the food and health industry and empowering people with the truth. That's what I stand bold on. I mean, I expose lots of things. Aldwyn knows because she came through my boot camp. And the funny thing about it, too, is Aldwyn had a very unique reaction midway through my boot camp. One that took me by surprise because I'm just like, you've heard me talk about all this stuff before. We've had plenty of shows where I've gone in depth about this and I've become a fire hose. And I'm like, do you know this and this and this? But for some reason, going through my boot camp, she had a moment where it was, it was a bit overwhelming, all the stuff that I bring. That's what I love about what I do. Because not only is exposing that industry, But every single person that has come into my world and exited out of my world is forever changed in such a good way. They now stand on a foundation to where they will never be moved from ever again. This industry will never move them. That's my freedom. That's where I'm at today. But I didn't start there. I had to work my way up to that. So I don't know. That's me. That's my story. That's who I am. And so there you go. There's my fear to freedom story.
Thank you, Ken. Yes, and I absolutely was in tears as I was going through Ken's boot camp because I was like, I can't believe I've been lied to about all this. What do you mean that this is not healthy? What I'm eating? I was literally having a complete breakdown. And one of Ken's favorite sayings is turn the freaking thing over. Like, look at the ingredients on the back of your packaging. And of course, it's that small that you need to actually magnify it with your phone to be able to read half the stuff. But like, it'll shock you when you really look at the ingredients and what's in it. And actually, Ken and I did one of our earlier episodes was about the truth about seed oils. Now, seed oils, oh my gosh. I mean, that's just one area you want to be looking into. When it says vegetable oil, that does not mean healthy. Canola oil is not healthy. Anyway, we won't go on down this rabbit hole, but honestly, once you start looking into it, you will never be eating the same kind of food again. Or at least not as much of it, right? So I still do have ice cream. But anyway, and I do like, I have coconut ice cream and I have yogurt and things like that. But anyway, really like sugar, big no, not good in general. However, in moderation, we talk about that too. In moderation, some of it's okay. But just be aware that, things like seed oils will cause inflammation in the body. They will clog up your arteries. It'll end up leading to disease in the body when you continually eat a lot of crap food. And a lot of people don't realize they're eating crap food because it's disguised as healthy food. So I have turned out to be very passionate also about this topic now. I mean, Ken and I came together because he was passionate about the truth about health. I was passionate about the truth about media and freedom of information. And we came together and we're also sick of all the lies out there, hence Total Truth Show. And here we are, 3 or 4 years on now with this show and going strong. So very, very cool. And Rosie says here, way to go, Ken. This is so good. So good. Thank you for that, Rosie. So let's uncover. We are coming next 20 minutes or so. We'll be wrapping up the show. But I'd love to just deep dive now into how some of the authors have transformed their fear to freedom. What are some of the tools and practical strategies that you use to move from fear to freedom? So who would like to share on this? I'll open up to our authors. Who would like to share? How did you transform from fear to freedom? Over to you now. Don't speak once. Okay, we'll go to Rosie. Yay, good on you, Rosie. There you go. Over to you. The mic goes to you. Yay.
You know that saying, feel the fear and do it anyway? It was that.
Yes.
That's what I say to my kids all the time, feel the fear and do it anyway. And I thought maybe I should just take my own advice.
Yeah, great. Feel the fear. And it took courageous action.
It was a calling. I had a strong calling to do this. I knew I had to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Well, we're so grateful you're in the book. And in fact, the energy is so dynamic. We thought we were going to have all women there. And then Salvo hopped in and we're like, oh, you're a brave man being in this book.
Very brave.
It's not like it was intended that way. It was just so happened to be that way. In fact, Ken was considering coming into the book, and for whatever reasons, he didn't come into this one, but maybe he'll come into a future one.
There was nothing bad why I didn't come in. It was a strategic move on my part because I do have a lot of moving pieces in my own business right now, and I am currently working on my own book. And my coach is working on taking me up another level now, and so it's just, as much as I would have loved the opportunity, and I even asked her about it, and just the leading of God that I got was not now.
It's okay.
Yeah, so that's why.
That's all good. It's all good because we know the perfect 11 people came in, as well as Leanne and I, into this book, and we are already starting to promote and have people interested in book number 2, which will be releasing next year. And I actually think book number 2 with our 11 authors in series 2 will actually sell out on Saturday night. I truly believe that. So if you are interested in coming into book 2, then reach out to us, because once we fill those 11 spots, That's it for book number 2. And that will have a whole other energy. And some of our book 1 authors are coming back to book 2 as well. So there are limited spots there. And we do have a special launch offer that is crazy. In fact, the amount that we've charged people to be in this book is like, if Leanne and I worked out the number of hours that we've put into this, probably working at about $2 an hour. However, it's been real love job with what it hasn't been about the money. It's about, you have to charge something, because if people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So we can't be doing it for free. We've got to have an exchange of energy. And we'll be doing retreats and other programs and things on the back end of this as well. So we have other offerings that we'll be giving to people through this. However, for our second book, we do have a special launch offer. So reach out if you'd like to come into book number 2. And in the meantime, make sure you get your free copy of Fear to Freedom, free on Amazon for 24 hours only. Get in now if you can and get your free copy. Go to the Fear to Freedom public Facebook group, and in there will be the links, as well as we have our Amazon launch links here. We've got the Australian and the US links right here as well in the comments. So you can hop straight into those links as well. Now, Leanne, could you just explain the difference? Now, for those in America, they should do the US link. Is that correct? What's the purpose of these two links?
Okay, so that's how it works. The link is available in your country. So if you're in Australia, you can't purchase through the US link, and vice versa. There are some other countries' links that we'll bring out later on this afternoon, probably on the next show this afternoon, Aldwyn, on the Media Queen TV. But for now, we're focusing on Australia and the US. So if you are living in the US, use the US link. If you're in Australia, use the Australian link. It's not Australia and New Zealand can use Australia link. So that's just one of Amazon's little idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's for the free download for the Kindle version of the book. You can also purchase the book. Also, I believe it's $25 at the moment. Is that what you paid today, Ken? You got your hard copy?
I think I paid, before tax and everything, I think it was listed at $15 for the paper.
Yeah, it's 25 Australian dollars. So different in the US. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, so 15 US, which is a bargain as well.
That's our launch special. Yeah,
that's a launch special right now. So the book will actually be $33 retail Australian, which will probably be about 25 US. So it is a special also for the paperback version at the moment. However, you can get the free Kindle version, which is awesome. You can read all the inspiring stories. Now, Fear to Freedom. Now, I'd love to hear from some of our other authors. How have you moved from Fear to Freedom? Lisa?
Yeah, well, a really good incident for me was when our voice is a powerful tool there as well, and also just our thoughts. So that mind chatter is getting rid of that mind chatter and actually follow our heart, because a lot of those thoughts it's actually our ego trying to keep us safe. But a really big incident that really made an impact in my life was an incident with my son. He was Ollie, that's the type 1. He was staying at his dad's house one night. Not that I recommend this, because obviously his dad's not really I've done a lot of work on it, but he just is not capable of looking after his son. So I've empowered, and instead of looking at the negative, I've empowered my son to say, well, it just gives you time to practice your diabetes skills. So, I get him to set alarms and things like that there as well. So he was there with his brother and thing about 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got the Dexcom, because we've got like a machine that, can read his blood sugar levels, which I'm very, very grateful for. 5 or 10 years ago, the technology was even harder. The needles, I think, like 10, 20 years ago, were that long. Now they're only about 5 millimeter there too. And basically went really low, but really dangerously low, like really scary low. And I woke up my daughter at 3 o'clock in the morning, said, we need to get to your dad's house. Has he got keys? And we're halfway there. She said, there's no point, Mum. There's no way of getting in. He lives in a high rise. It's a gated community. He's not. And I thought, oh, my God. And what I did, I actually pulled over to the side of the road and I just prayed. I just prayed to God, please keep Ollie safe. Please, for the highest good of all, just can you get his levels up just so it's safe? And then I just closed my eyes into that. And then a few seconds, I looked at it and I couldn't believe it. But actually his levels went up. So then, okay, I'm just going to go back home. And for the next 3 hours, every time I saw him dropping, I just asked for God or Spirit and asked them to please raise his levels. And he did. And that was a real lesson to me of realizing the power of our voice, there too. So after that, I started asking for so many things, but as long as it's for the highest good of all, I can't ask for the woman winning lotto numbers or anything like that. But it was a real lesson, and all my life I was asking for the wrong things. I was asking for what I didn't want. So it was a real learning curve to even at work I used to go, I never win anything. And then at work I started saying, I work at a call center, I'm in the winning circle. And it was amazing. Can you probably hear that? I've got the lawnmower outside. I'll just go shut that door for a minute. Just a minute.
Yes. Okay, so while Lisa goes to do that, let's go over
Life
to
happens
Jacqueline.
in the background. I love it.
Hilarious. So Jacqueline, how did you move from fear to freedom? And we'll come back to Lisa in just a moment. But let's hear from Jacqueline just now, and then we'll go back to you,
How do you
Lisa.
get back in?
I think magic in your mindset. You don't realise how powerful your mind is and how you can get through. I've been through many challenges throughout my life, and using the power of that mind get you through it.
Yes, the power of the mind. Yes, thank you, Jacqueline. Absolutely. And you went through some extraordinary physical challenges there with your story. We were blown away by what you went through and all of the medical mishaps and what was going on for you there to come through that. So, a lot of resilience there in your story. So thank you for sharing that, Jacqueline. Now, Lisa, back to you.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Of course, the lawnmower man has to do it. He obviously didn't hear my voice quick enough. But obviously it was our voice is a powerful tool. So to use, but as long as you use it for the highest good of all, and to set our intentions. So when we do want something, just obviously like visualize it and get excited in the feeling of it, and visualize that it's already happened, but let go of it there as well. And that was a really big lesson. And my manifestations really started to, like once with that night with Ollie, like that early morning when I didn't, for 3 hours I just prayed and prayed and prayed. I thought, oh my goodness, if I can do that for this, imagine what else I could do it for. And so it was a powerful, powerful lesson on our voice and our energy there as well.
Yes, I love that. In fact, I've often said this book could be called Fear to Faith, right? Fear to freedom. This journey, fear to freedom, there's actually lots of steps along the way that we've discovered. There's things like fun. There's things like flow. There's, faith has been a huge one. I mean, I share in the book about where I had a near-death experience in 2023. 2 years ago, I got swept out to sea, about 1 kilometre out to sea in Coffs Harbour, and I potentially could have drowned. I could have been taken by a shark at any moment. And there were many things that helped me come through that experience. Now, if I had panicked and actually shown the panic, and actually swum like crazy and tried to get out of this situation, I would have definitely run out of breath and I would have died. In fact, I probably would have attracted the sharks. This area is known for sharks in Coffs Harbour. I would have attracted sharks by panicking. Now, I was panicking on the inside. However, I wasn't showing it on the outside. However, when I was out in the middle of the ocean, I was crying, I was praying, I was doing breath work, I was looking down. And when you're in deep seas and you look down, you can't see if there are sharks there because it's dark. You cannot see. It's dark waters. And so I was panicking and trying not to panic and keeping my head above water. And there were so many learnings in it, right? However, prayer was one of the biggest things that pulled me through. However, I had to be very mindful of the conversations going on in my mind, because my very first thought when I was out in the middle of the ocean was, oh my gosh, is this going to be the last day on the planet? I've shared with people how if I was to die, the ocean would be a great way to go because I love the ocean so much. And there I was in the middle of the ocean. The day before, we just finished this workshop with Angelique Pellegrino, one of our Mass Media Mastery members. We finished this workshop called Open Your Mind to Flourish. And in that workshop the day before in Coffs Harbour, we were saying in that workshop that everything happens for us, not to us, and the power of manifestation. And there I was in the middle of the ocean thinking, oh my gosh, have I manifested this? Is this the last day on the planet? And I thought, no, Aldwyn, stop these conversations. Don't have these conversations. It was like I was having the conversations in my mind and then trying not to have the conversations in my mind. It was just all happening at once. So it was a whole series of things that helped me survive that situation, and a whole lot of learnings from that, which are shared in the book. So what are some other things, before we wrap up, some other tools and techniques and things that you've used to pull through from fear?
Before anybody else chimes in, Lisa's got to leave, so might want to do how people can connect with her.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I've got an appointment just after 1 o'clock, and that's I'll be running late there anyway. But thank you so much for today. Thank you, Aldwyn and Ken. It's an amazing show. Thank you to Leanne as well. It's been an amazing journey. I'm so excited to meet all you guys in Sydney on Saturday night and, get ready to reconnect. Now, you can connect with me either on Facebook or Instagram. It's Lisa Jack Healing. I also do have a website that's Lisa Jack Healing. It's pretty simple. It's my name there too. And, reach out. I'd love to chat. I do online healings and also in person. If you're locally, I do a really awesome one. It's like a healer on wheels. I've also got do healing circles where we connect once every couple of months. Eventually, I'll slowly build that up on the Gold Coast as well. And obviously, if you are a type 1 in Australia, I do have that event on next Tuesday night at 7:30. So with the Type 1 Foundation, so you can always go to that website and find it there too. So thank you so much, Shetty. All my love to everyone, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Mwah.
Lisa, before you go, Lisa, do you have a quote or motto you'd like to share with us?
Oh yeah, well there's I've had a lot of a lot of worries in my life, and most of them have never happened. That's a really good one. And there was another one I was thinking. Also, another one I really like as a couple is like, you're on a because obviously a lot of people get quite impatient because they want everything to happen instantly. So you've got the best way of describing it is like a big ferry ship. When they want to turn, it takes them like 1 or 2 kilometers to actually turn that ship. So, in life, when we do make changes, it's not instant. It does take a little bit of time for those changes to come to fruition. But most people give up just before they see the change. It's like that temperature, that 1% up, down. You've just got to keep pushing through. But a lot of people give up just before they would have pushed through there too. Awesome. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. It's an amazing show. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys all soon.
Thank you, Lisa. You're amazing. Connect with Lisa at lisajackhealing.com. LISA healing.com. HEALING.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lisa. We'll see you soon. We are about to wrap up the show, so we'll go around and now see how we can connect with everybody, because we are about to go over to a Media Queen TV episode very shortly with some of our co-authors celebrating the launch today. Now, Leanne is back with us. I know she's monitoring the Amazon links there, and she will be keeping us updated through the day on that, no doubt. So let's go over to Rosie now. Rosie, do you have a favorite quote or motto you'd like to share with us today?
Yes, and this has been a quote that I've had since teenager, and it's: the biggest regrets in life we have are the risks that we didn't take.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it. And where can people connect with you, lovely?
So they can connect with me on Instagram, which is embracing.rosie, embracing, EMBRACING.Rosie. And they can find me on Facebook, which is Rosie Shalhoub, as in Tony Shalhoub, the movie star. And I'm the same as you on YouTube as well, Rosie Shalhoub. And if they can just connect with me there, I will be putting out the new links to the Embrace Academy, which will be coming out next year. So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Beautiful. All right. So that is awesome. Thank you, Rosie. Connect over there. And Rosie, very humbly, she hasn't mentioned she ran a massive spiritual fair, didn't you, in Sydney quite a few years ago? Can you share just very quickly about that, about what you did with that?
Yes, we did a 3-year project at Sydney's Warden Pavilion. And I don't even know how I got roped into this, but for someone who is not an event coordinator, my husband and I pulled off a bloody good job. That's all I can say. We actually gave, I better not name names, but one of the biggest, or the biggest spiritual event, we gave them a run for their money, I think. And we just pulled in 100 exhibitors, all in the mind, body, spirit field. We pulled in some international movie stars, international guests. It was just insane, and the thousands of people came through the door. And I think by the third year, I was like, I can't do this. I didn't realize how much work was actually involved in events. It's hard work, but it was a lot of fun and a great experience. Like, I do not regret any of it.
Yeah, extraordinary. I was blown away by what you achieved there. And that's just some of it. I mean, you've got so many talents and, check out your website here, embraceaustralia.com.au. You can connect with Rosie.
Yes. Connect with
Embrace.
me there. That will be going down shortly because we are putting up the Embrace Academy. We're going in a little bit of a different direction, but I will keep that up for a short while.
Okay, beautiful. So for a short time, you can get over there to embraceaustralia.com.au. Thank you so much, Rosie. Amazing. Now, Jacqueline, do you have a favourite quote or motto you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Yeah, good one. Love that. And where can people connect with you?
I'll just put my website in the chat.
Okay, so we'll be coming to Jacqueline's website in just a moment. In the meantime, we might hop along over to Leanne. Leanne, do you have a favourite quote or motto you'd like to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So true freedom is when you remember who you really are.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. My chapter in Fear to Freedom is called Remembering Me.
Ooh.
Nice. Yes. Nice. And where's the best place to connect with you normally, Leanne?
Yeah, my best place would be the link tree. So it's just, actually, I'll have to put it in the chat so you can share it. It's just linktree Leanne Clune, I believe. So.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, pop it in the chat there. And in the private chat now, back to Jacqueline, over to Jacqueline's link. Jacqueline, could you share that link? I'll put up on the screen too. But if you could just read that out to us.
Yeah, JacquelineP.mlcwater.com. Yeah,
JacquelineP.mlcwater.com. There it is there. JacquelineP.mlcwater.com. And Jacqueline is the expert on all things water. She knows all the ins and outs of the pHs and everything with the Kangen machine. So you reach out to her if you'd like to know how to have nice, clean, healthy water for all sorts of different situations and for health concerns. Different types of water with Kangen machines are amazing. And she shares a lot about that in her chapter. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Now,
change your
Leanne,
water, change your life.
Yes. Change your water, change your life. Absolutely. Leanne, did you want to share a specific link there or just unmute yourself if you'd like to share there?
Just grabbing that one now. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's go over to, here it is, Linktree. Linktree. Right. I'll pop that one up. Could you just read that one out to us, please, Leanne?
So my best contact, everyone, is on Linktree, and that's https linktr.ee/Leanne Clune on the screen. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Leanne. And now over to Ken. Ken, what is your quote you'd like to share with us today?
Well, my quote that I want to share is, "You will never walk in freedom if you are still clinging to fear-based lies sold by the world."
Oh, yes, that's a good one. Oh, yeah, love that one. Awesome. And how can people connect with you, my friend?
Well, people can connect with me by going to www.masteryweightloss.com/connect. And on that page, there's going to be 4 buttons to connect with me. So at the top, the first button is going to be a link, is going to be a button that goes directly to my mini educational bootcamp. The other 3 are just ways to connect with me. So you can book a strategy call. You can find me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So real quickly, I've lost 62.5 pounds and I've kept it off for 7+ years now, all without a diet and having that be sustainable. How did I become the 5% though that have been able to keep their weight off? Every change and every new habit simply had enough time to sink in and become part of who I am and automatic. And right now, I'm giving away my 3 secrets to help you lose weight, to help you feel energized, to help you to get healthy without starving or dieting. In just 3 short sessions with me, you will be empowered in your journey. I expose the 3 biggest lies that are keeping people sick, stuck, and overweight, because that's how that industry makes money. And I show them how to fuel their body God's way so they can finally break free and keep the weight off sustainably for life like I've been able to do. So that's all part of my mini educational boot camp. It's not a workout plan. It's not an eating plan. It is a foundation that you will move forward on. Again, that link, www.masteryweightloss.com/connect, is the way you can find that button to that mini educational boot camp, or just get into my world. So there you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ken. And Rosie says she needs a session with you. I need a session with Ken. I think we'll have a session with Ken. I'm definitely carrying a bit of extra weight around my belly.
Rosie, reach out to me. How do I get your where is your contact information in here?
Find her on Facebook, my dear. She's tagged in all of our posts today.
Okay, I will find
Yeah,
you.
I
I will
found
message
you
you.
already. I found you already, Ken.
There you go.
Okay, awesome.
Now, Ken's main Facebook account got hacked, which is Ken Kleinberg. So it's Ken M Kleinberg on Facebook is his active account. And my main Facebook account got hacked or got taken down about a month ago as well. So I'm using my 2 backup accounts now. So thank you for that. And Corinda's with us. Hey, Corinda, good to see you. Corinda's saying Ken is a good person. He says nice. He says correct. Oh, he says, and also #1 is Aldwyn Media Queen. Thank you, Corinda. You get extra bonus points for that one. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now for
Thank you.
thank you. Corinda's awesome. And he wants you all on his show. Actually, Corinda does a great show called Empowerment Extend. I need to have you all on my podcast. So there you go. He says morning all, because he'll be over in the UK somewhere on the other side of the world. I need to have you all on my podcast. Okay, there you go. There's an
Reach out
invitation.
to me, my friend. Message
Thank
me.
you. Thank you, Corinda. Corinda's awesome. All right, now for those who want to connect with me, I'll give you that link shortly. But firstly, my quote: expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power, and the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. Okay, so face the fears and do it anyway, as we've shared here earlier today. And for those who want to connect with me, you can go along to my linktree /Aldwyn, linktr.ee/Aldwyn. You'll see all of our links. The Sydney launch on Saturday night has sold out. We are now taking, I know people say, oh, please, can I come? Well, we've got a waiting list now. If some people pull out, then you want to go on the waiting list, then reach out to myself or to Leanne. Just send us a private message and we'll put you on the waiting list. If someone pulls out, then we might be able to get you in. Otherwise, it is completely sold out. So thank you so much to our 100+ people who are coming to our launch in Sydney on Saturday night at Daltone House in Sylvania Waters. And thank you so much to the amazing Rita Barbagallo, who is the Red Peacock, who has been sponsoring the event and helping to organize all of it as well. Huge thank you to Rita. Very much appreciate Rita for putting together what she has. It's going to be an extraordinary night, and thank you for sponsoring. She's invested literally thousands of dollars of her own, time and energy and resources to get some of the movers and shakers and media, and we've got all sorts of phenomenal people coming. I was chatting with Rita in the early hours of this morning. She was telling me all about it. So it's going to be an awesome night Saturday night. And in there also, if you want to get yourself out and be seen, heard, and known, then let's connect. You'll find all of my links at my linktree /Aldwyn. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And also Amazon. Hop along to our links that we shared earlier. We would love for you to have a free copy of our book for the 24 hours only. It is closing off at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So go along to these links. We've got the Australian link, the US link. Join our public Fear to Freedom Facebook group, and you will see all the links in there as well, just for the next 24 hours. And we really appreciate everyone who has already got their free copy of the book. Thank you so much. And who's purchased a copy of the book as well. And we are going to have books that we'll be signing in Sydney. And down the track, we'll be doing a Gold Coast launch as well, but we haven't got details of that just yet. So we're going to have this big bang on Saturday night. It's going to be extraordinary. As I say, subscribe to my YouTube channel as well there if you haven't already. There is over 1,600 inspiring videos on there. I have an interview there with David Icke and with people, some phenomenal people out there, Barry Crocker, so, just phenomenal interviews, really inspiring interviews. And some people you've never heard of have got some phenomenal stories as well. So you'll find all that in a linktree/Aldwyn. Now we are about to wrap up our episode 111. Huge congratulations to our fellow authors here in Fear to Freedom. We're officially launching today. Your free copy for the next 24 hours only. Do reach out. We're just about to go over to a Media Queen TV episode very shortly. We'll be chatting with some of our authors over there as well. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to give you all the clap now as we wrap up. And is there anything finally anyone would like to share before we go?
Yes, Rosie, there's a friendly little message waiting for you in Messenger. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank
you. I'm on to it.
Beautiful. Okay, it's a wrap. We're going to all have the clap now. Yay! Well done, well done. Congratulations to all of our authors. Yay, you are absolutely fantastic. Love you all. Thank you for joining us today on Total Truth Show. Please let us know what you got out of our conversation today around Fear to Freedom. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please share the love, like our Facebook page, follow us on Spotify, all the things, BitChute, Rumble, etc. Love you all. We'll see you next time here on Total Show. Thank you so much. Thank you to our amazing authors who joined us today, Leanne, Jacqueline, Rosie, Michelle, Lisa, who joined us earlier.
Fun.
See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.